Hello, and welcome to Easy PC Tutorials for CIS 1323. I am your tutor, and I will be helping you with some lessons of Microsoft Access 2019. In this tutorial, we will use and OR conditions together in one single query. For a quick revision, when you use and in a query, all the conditions have to be satisfied. And when you use OR, any one condition has to be satisfied. So let's look at how we can achieve this in one single query. Now I will be using the Let Me Try Live file, which you can click here and download. And let's use appointments by date query. So let's open it in the design view for our practice. Now let's suppose that we want to see all the appointments from April 1st and ahead, and for the customers whose last name is Swanson. So now we know that this is an AND query, which involves apt date and the last name columns. So let's put these conditions first. So we want our date to be greater than or equal to April 1, 2020, and my last name has to be Swanson. So this is the date condition, and this is a text condition. So now let's run the query and see our results. Okay, so you see that the last name is all Swanson, and the date is from April, from 1 to any date ahead, but only April and the months ahead. But now suppose I want to see the appointments with the same date range, but my customer name, last name, could be either Swanson or James. So let's go back to the design view and modify this query, where you know that my last name should be either Swanson or, so in the OR row, under last name, I would put James. Now let's run this query and see our results. Okay, so our last names involve James and Swanson both. But if you go and see the date, it does not satisfy the condition for James, where the date has to be either 1st of April or furthermore. And you can see that this is not April, this is from March, right? So something is wrong in this query, where we wanted only the data to be seen from March 1st and ahead, and the names, the last names could be either Swanson or James. So let's go back to the design view and see what went wrong. So now here our criteria says that the date has to be greater than or equal to 4/1/2020 and the last name is Swanson, or the last name is James. So we are missing an AND condition in the OR row, meaning we have to also specify the same condition for the James here. So we will write greater than or equal to 4/1/2020, which also has to be satisfied when you're looking for last name as James, which means that now this criteria row is one AND condition, and this in the OR row is another AND condition. So how this is read is condition 1, which is my date greater than or equal to 1st of April 2020 and last name Swanson, or my date has to be greater than or equal to April 1st, 2020 and last name is James. Now let's run the query and see the results. Cool. So you see that our data got reduced in the results, and we see date either only from 1st of April and further, right? There's no 3 or 2 or 1 in the month. Okay, So now this is how you achieve and or together in a query. So let's go to the design view and I'll tell you how to not get confused by this. So if you write in the same row the conditions, it will be an and condition always. Meaning if you keep on writing conditions for different columns in the criteria row, it will be read as one long and condition. Say suppose I want to also write another condition for the price in the criteria row here. See, I'm not changing the row. It's in the criteria row, but for price, and I say price is greater than 30, which means my price has to be greater than 30, and the last name has to be Swanson, and the app date has to be greater than or equal to April 1, 2020. Okay, so this is your multiple and condition. When you come to the or row and write the same thing, this is also one huge and condition. So how to simply put, it looks like something like this. So let's say that your condition 1 using and is app date has to be greater than or equal to 4/1/2020, and the last name is Swanson. And another and condition is my app date has to be greater than or equal to 4/1/2020, and the last name is James. So a combination of and or would be condition 1, which is this whole condition, or condition 2, which is this entire and condition. So you can also take I have given a simpler example for movie genre. Say I want my movies which have romance and comedy together, or it could be crime and thriller together. So this is how you write and or conditions combined in one single query. Feel free to experiment with it, add more and queries and condition in the query. You can also add and conditions for the same column by saying and here, or you could say this is greater than and less than 70, and you could keep on adding another and if you want other or conditions, not just this one, you can keep on adding it below in the empty rows. So whenever you write in one single row, it is considered to be a huge and query, a huge and condition, and when you write it in the or row, it is one huge and condition for the entire row. So I hope this video makes you understand how to use and or conditions together in a query. Keep practicing. It is not so difficult. I know you can do it. Bye for now, and I'll see you in another tutorial.